We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Man, ain't that the truth? That's what we're always doing. We're pretty much fighting until we can't. And I'd say everybody's still got a whole lot of fight in them. And that is kind of a running theme on the topics we got going on the show today. Man, I've got a great panel. I have an awesome guest. I've been wanting to get the gospel according to Mark with a C on forever, and it just so happened, man. Today was the day it worked out, and I'm thrilled because, folks, if you haven't watched the Dark Council, where have you been if you haven't watched the Dark Council?
Unfuck yourself.
Yeah, this man is one of the most just observant based human beings that I've seen, and I'm a big fan of his content, his videos especially. The gentleman will always give you an honest take. I appreciate that about him, and what they say about certain people, you can appreciate that they have a beautiful mind, and you will find that in this gentleman for sure. So
wow. Hey, thank you, Joy. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for having me on. It's my pleasure to be here. What's up to everybody in the chat, to the panel? Thank you guys so much. You're very gracious.
Yeah,
and might I say, that was a kick-ass intro. I love that intro. Extremely deep, man. That's one that every time you watch it, you should see something new and you should think about it.
Yeah, Brightest Day put that together for me, the intro package that we have. And man, I'll tell you, he was so spot on with it. And it was cool how we kind of weaved in that little bit from Battlestar Galactica, but that fit so good in there, and that was just perfect. I mean, but that goes along with my Thursday stream. I always do my we always talk Battlestar on Thursdays, and so that's just kind of fit together like a glove. But yeah, I'm loving that. That intro is oh man, I'll be using that till the end of time. It's perfect. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to the rest of the panel. I've got Immortal Coil here, which man, me and Coil, we need to stream together more. And with his work schedule, it's kind of hard for him to make this show. So
Yeah.
it just worked out that he was off today. He made it. So I'm glad that he was available to be on the panel. Of course, we've got our favorite regulars. We've got Freeze Peach Gaming.
What's up,
going on?
everybody? Doing well. Looking forward to another episode here. I think this is going to be a good one. We were having some good laughs and a nice chat in the before the show, the pre-show. I'm looking forward to having Mark here on the show. I really like your channel. I play your videos at work fairly often. My father-in-law, he's the boss where I work. He loves your videos too. Just a great way of putting everything out there and having like a really straightforward but at the same time deep view of things. I really appreciate that from your videos. And people, you can scroll up in the chat a bit and you'll find his link. Definitely sub to his channel. It is well worth it.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, E-Tip will kill the people's champ.
What's going on? E-Temple Queen from the Place to Be Reviews. Right here with all of yous. There we go. Even the Orthodox Jews, L'chaim. I don't have any wine this evening. It's far too hot. I'm drinking water. I can't turn water into wine yet. I'm still working on that sleight of hand. It's not working out too well though. So I just buy a bottle. How you doing, everybody?
Nice, bro. Man, it's a 90 here, so I can just imagine. You're only 3 hours away, so it's like 90s up there too. So.
I just bought a new hacienda that's got central air. I'm just waiting. I closed in a week, and I'm moving in the day after that. So no more sweating to death in here. I would make a joke about my people and hot small spaces, but I'm trying to stay appropriate for at least the first half hour of the stream. We don't fare too well, but yeah, it's. Plus, I got the green screen lights on in here, and I can't exactly run a fan because it'll interfere with the mic. So I've got like 6 Yetis filled up with water in here.
Yeah, Sherry said it's 94 in New York. Hey,
it's no cooler. It's no cooler in Northeast Ohio.
103 in New Mexico. Well, Jorge, you got.
Come on, that's a dry heat. Let's be honest.
Let me go to the lady that brings class to the panel every week, and that is Janet from Another Planet.
From Another Planet.
All the way from Another Planet. She brings the class and the style, and she's a sweetheart. And I'm glad that I've got Janet on. One of my best friends I could ever ask for. So, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing great. Still in Miami. I'm at the Tresor at the Fontainebleau Hotel.
No. Ooh, look at you chilling at the Foo Hotel.
But yeah, I'm still pissed off though. Government sucks. Sorry.
Nice.
But I'll try the best I can while I'm here. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for.
Well, always, Janet. It's great having you.
Thank you.
So we got Mehdi who's in the chat. He of course he had to brag that he was first. And we've got Tony, Blue-Eyed Rookery in the base. What up, brother? Mr. CCDV's in the house. Of course, one of the best mods that anybody could have, one of the best people that you can know in the community, and that is Lasso of Truth, aka Trina. Love you, Trina. Great to see you, dear. One of the big supporters of this channel, Tina Bojan, is in the house. Hi, Tina. Great to see you. The lovely Sherry's in the house.
Sherry.
And yes, she is lovely. So great to see you as well, Sherry. Rabbit Slug Ouchies is up in here. Hey, great to see you, Rabbit, every week. My dude that I used to write with at Bounding, Jorge, is in the house. Mr. Jorge Arenas, the Lazy Otter Productions. What's up, Jorge? Chris Fisk is in the house. Chris, man, good to see you, brother. And let's see, Solar Warden's in the house. Also, Papa Cotton is in the house. What up, Wook? Yep. So gang's all here. Keely Chow's here. Man, we just we rolling. Got our
All the
boy.
popular kids are at the cafeteria table.
Speaking of legendary mods, Eric K's up in the house too.
Yeah.
So we got everybody. Time Prophet, what up? Great to see you, brother. Always good to see you. So yeah, and Office Girl, what's going on? I know that face, and I know who that is. So it's awesome to see you. But yeah, let's get into our topics. And what up, Tehillim? Good to see you too, brother. We've got Justin Trudeau, who has basically, well, I'll just be real with you. He's dropping tyranny on Canada at an alarmingly high rate. You know,
But did he do it in blackface?
no, he did not do
Yeah.
it in blackface this time.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on, man?
But
I actually liked him better in blackface.
well,
since he went all natural, man, the man's going psycho.
well, the thing that we need to remember, and this is a key fact, and you know, for all you folks that kind of keep an eye on the world, okay, pay attention to especially the globalists like the World Economic Forum. You know, this man came from the WEF Young Global Leaders Program, which unsurprisingly, okay, also. Who else came from there? Zelensky came from there. So, you just got to remember the ideology in the outlook that these people have is this doesn't surprise you at all, because what this is about is exerting control and keeping any resistance non-existent. It's taking away the power of the citizens to have a buffer against tyrannical government. But let me go into this clip because it is just absolutely ridiculous what this man is proposing. So let me go ahead and share it. Yeah, this is very disturbing, actually.
Yeah.
And God help us if this ever comes to the States. By the way, they're going to attempt it here at some point.
This is the staging ground.
Implement freeze on handgun ownership.
Look at this pretty.
Is that it will be possible to buy, sell, transfer.
I wish I could enunciate like that.
Handguns anywhere. In Canada. In other words,
yes,
we're capping the market for handguns.
This dude's a biscuit away from just fluttering off the floor. Let me put it to you that way.
He's got a lock and key on his junk. I guarantee you.
Not on his
part
ass.
of this new legislation, we're also fighting gun smuggling and trafficking by increasing maximum criminal penalties and providing more tools for law enforcement to investigate firearm crimes. And we'll require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. These are actions that doctors, experts, and chiefs of police have been calling for years.
When?
Where?
On their advice.
Let's see some receipts.
I also want to thank the advocates, many of
He'll
whom
have to drive up to
here
Timmins
today
and get him
for
himself.
your tireless efforts. I know that.
Well,
for too many,
the thing.
Greece,
I mean, that's enough. But the thing is this is disturbing on many fronts, and it's like I said, this takes away the buffer from the citizenry to be able to push back or have a fighting chance against a tyrannical government, which is the purpose of having a freely armed populace in the first place.
Correct. I
It-
keep
it-
telling people that the people in the First Amendment and the people in the Second Amendment are the same people.
But
It's sad, man. It's so sad to see more than 2 people up there and they're all with it. They're all nodding their heads. Like, you think that if you had a collection of more than 3 people somebody would have the balls enough to say, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a terrible image to see and to hear people clapping for that bullshit when they know that this goes against freedom. Absolutely, 100%. How are you clapping about this and smiling and nodding your head like a damn bobblehead?
Who has
you know what I
balls
mean?
I know I'm
anymore?
not getting up there with anything but yes men behind me, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
Because none of it's going to happen to them.
Oh.
They all think they're one person that this won't happen to. And then when it happens to them, when they get thrown over the bus, what happened?
But that's exactly how it is. I mean, like, nothing can happen if the powers that be eventually say it's going to happen, and the only thing that the people that it affects are doing are sitting there doing nothing, saying this can't happen to us.
They're all those every one of those people on that. I'm sorry, man. Every one of those people on stage is nothing but a useful idiot. I mean, I hate to bring it back to this, but look at them. They're all still wearing face diapers. I mean, we're not even worried. We're not even worried about the Koof.
Well, except for the man himself.
Yeah, exactly. That right there. That's the blatant,
for me, man.
The blatant hypocrisy of people like Justin Trudeau, who will walk around with armed security guards night and day. You know, this guy is never without armed protection, and you can't have a handgun. You can't have a long gun with a magazine over 5 rounds. Well, you know, that's the difference between the U.S. and Canada, and I see them going the way of Australia with this. As far as and I know they can still possess firearms down there. It's just the laws are, because we all know people that live in Australia, and YouTube, and they said you can. It's complicated though, but it's not like they don't have any guns. But Canada, I mean, that's where this is leading. It's like it goes, and we can take this all the way back to the Patriot Act in 2001. Okay. Oh, well, if you give us this power now, we'll walk it back after, there's mistake number. We gave them that almost imminent domain over us for that surveillance state. And what has it done? It started a snowball rolling downhill. And then every little thing, that's happened, that's these tragedies, which they are tragedies, but let's be honest, a lot of them, there's a lot of, I mean, look at the Las Vegas shooting at the, at the country music festival. All this shit is shady. All of it is shady, and it's like it's coincidence on coincidence. And when does it stop being a coincidence? When do people say? And it's like, oh well, that's disinformation. That's dangerous to our democracy. What, facts? We're not looking at an illogical, irrational, emotional reaction to something. We're sitting back and we're looking at years and years and years and years of things happening and evidence and things falling into place and people getting arrested. And that's where we are now. And that's how we got here. We let it happen. We fucking let it happen. We said, protect us, daddy. Govern us harder, daddy. And they freaking did. And this is where we are. It's the govern me harder, daddy crowd's goddamn fault. And they made this bed, and now we all got to sleep in it. There, my rant's over. Sorry.
And it's the never let a good tragedy go to waste mentality is what they always use. As soon as there's a tragedy, and people do it on both sides, but the left is particularly bad about it, especially when it comes to anytime there's a school shooting. They're always, they want to take all of the guns away, which is the first move that every dictator ever has made. They're doing it now when it's not even happening in your own country. It happened here in our country, in Texas, and there were a lot of faults that happened in the situation. You can particularly look at the police not following the guidelines set forth for them. And up in Canada, they're going to let other people's tragedies not go to waste. Trudeau's going to use this as a bigger power grab, and this is after he's taken people's bank accounts away for having the wrong opinion. He's completely withheld them from being able to move freely. He's going down the full dictator checklist, just like his allegedly real biological father in Minecraft, Fidel Castro.
Office girl, I think, put it very succinctly right there, and she said there are way too many Canadians that just love big government to their own peril, and that is sadly where. Yeah.
When the bad guys are the only ones with the magazines that have more than 5 bullets in it. Who's gonna fight them? we're all without weapons to protect ourselves. We're all sitting ducks.
If we were gonna
the
fight them,
slaughter.
we should have been doing it. We should have been doing it by now. We spent the last 2.5 years bending over for these people. You know what I'm saying? They told you wear a mask, we wore a mask. They told you don't see your family, we didn't see our family. Keep taking these shots. Yeah, take another one. Here's another booster. You know, and what do we do? You know,
I have no love
as
for
a matter
Michael
of fact-
Moore. I'm sorry, but I just say I have no love for Michael Moore, but I don't think I ever enjoyed the movie Canadian Bacon more than when I saw it like last week. I'm sure you've all seen that movie.
I got it.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep.
The man's much better. The man's much better at fiction, or at least what I perceive to be fiction. I mean, these days, who knows?
He's made nonfiction.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
George
you guys
R.
heard
R.
about
just
the
a few random
Delaware,
propaganda pieces, you know.
You guys heard about the Delaware Representative John Kowalko? You know what he said about if you're against masking up and you're for gun rights, you should take your gun and kill yourself. Did you guys hear about that?
That's
wow.
Holy shit.
Delaware State Representative John Kowalko. Right.
Wow.
This is what he just said probably about 3 days ago. I was just about to do a video about this, you know, and this is so alarming. It's so telling because you have an elected official who's saying this. It's like saying, if you don't do what we tell you to do, you deserve to die.
Yeah.
No, it's not like you're going to vote for me anyway. So just go off yourself. What do I care?
Now, of course, he apologized for it. You know, that makes it all right, right? Democrat, you know, all he has to do is say, I'm sorry, but...
Nothing more sincere than a Twitter apology.
Yeah. Nothing says sincerity like that, right?
But people like that...
One step below an issued statement.
People like that you have to keep track of. You know, you got these nuts in office, you know, these groomers, you know, all of these people. These are the people who are going to convince you to give up your firearms. You know what I mean? Like, and limit the amount that you can have and all that stuff. Checks and balances. If you give that up, you give up the whole game. Shame on these people for letting this happen. It's like they don't care about their kids, but then we knew that already because they're getting all these shots that they don't need. Bitches.
That's why.
That's what we're talking
That's why
about.
myocarditis is on the rise because all these allegedly, but because of all these shots and the effect they have on the heart allegedly. That's why you have all these international FIFA football players that have dropped dead. 28-year-olds, healthy, you know, athletes in the prime of their career. Oh, I had a heart attack in the middle of the field. Why? Undisclosed causes. Nothing to see here. Move along. This is not the myocarditis caused by, you know, 3 boosters and 2 vaxes.
In all fairness,
Minecraft that you're looking for.
In all fairness, it may have been monkeypox.
This is true also.
That's great.
This is true also.
But you
or
want
if
to
they
get
said there
someone
was a
to
new
attack
steroid.
Exactly. You want to get someone to attack you really quick. Just wonder. I wonder if it had anything to do with the shot. Shut up! Shut up! Don't you dare!
Yep.
Don't you dare! What does that got to do with anything? Respect the dead. You are respecting the dead when you ask these questions. You're supposed to ask these questions. You have people who are relatively healthy, relatively fit, just keeling over, and you're just supposed to say, rest in peace. That's just the way it goes. No.
Yeah.
You want to start asking questions.
Yeah, you know what's fun. You know what's funny about that, Eric K. You know, you say, yeah, let's get them away from the criminals. Man, look, the criminals are always going to have guns. You know,
when guns are outlawed, only outlaws.
I can tell
exactly. All you're doing is hurt. Sir. All you do when you outlaw guns is you hurt your own economy and you create more criminals. That's all that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because look, I know people back in the day that were bangers that set trip the whole thing. Man, they had no problem. You know, anytime they needed guns, they got them.
Oh, that's because they.
It's easier to get them now than it was then.
They disproportionately shoot themselves. You know, so it's kind of like just extermination on that level. You know, go ahead and take the guns. Chances of you shooting me are practically zero. You know, but they'll go into the hoods, and unfortunately, they will terrorize themselves. You know, so and that's the issue.
Well, you know, and it's no more telling than in Chicago right now. And that mayor that they have is just she turned
Oh,
such a
God.
blind eye to it. I know that she can't be blind to it, but it's just like
I don't know. She's
she's
pretty
Eyes-
wall-eyed.
I don't know. I gotta say,
eyes
I don't.
eyes that big, she can see a problem a mile away.
Give those two Trudeau. He's it's made be more fitting. No, but the thing about that is, I'm not necessarily 100% positive that any of these people are blind to it necessarily. If I say necessarily again, somebody reach through the screen and slap me. By the way, I don't think they're. I really, for the most part, don't think they're blind to it. They come on. They know what's going on. If anything, they have all the information as it is.
Yeah, the mother.
Why wouldn't they? They're using it to their own end.
Because their grandbabies and their sons and their daughters are being murdered in the street, and nobody gives a shit. Okay, I can tell you that right now. I'm a mom, and if my baby got blown away because of it, all I would do is want to kill people and get revenge. And you got all these parents and grandparents wanting their children to be safe and be able to walk the streets, go to school, shop, play at the park, do all these things, and they can't do that because they have a government that doesn't give a shit about them.
These politicians are. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Honest about it. How do they get help? They have no one
These
that gives a shit. I mean,
I'm not trying to interrupt you. It's just you keep yeah.
I'm sorry. Cuts in and out.
No, you know what it is? You keep cutting in and out. I don't know if you're done or not. I'm sorry. This is my fault.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me at all, please. But the point is, I'm not sure that. I mean, let's put it this way: the people who have the power are taking advantage of the very human nature. That's human nature. Listen, if somebody murders your baby, it's only human nature that you would want to murder them right back. Whether or not you do so is irrelevant. But that's just how it is. And a lot of people do not have the power to sit on those feelings and let them pass. And they're taking advantage of that very thing.
Well, it's all about exploitation too. You keep people in a victimhood mentality. It's really easy to exploit them, especially when it goes over generations. A lot of these kids, they don't stand a chance. They come up feeling like they ain't shit, you know what I mean? And they're not worth anything. And it just goes on and on. The concept of white supremacy and all that stuff. I mean, there's no shortage of victimhood and victimization that's going on here. People are making a lot of money off of this. Black Lives Matter being one of them. You see it. What are they doing? Buying mansions and all of that stuff, living it up. Meanwhile, the people who they claim exactly, and they act like they're insulted when you question them about that.
Yep.
Well, one thing I'm glad that you brought up, Mark, was the exploitation, especially of minority communities, because it's not just what they do with the Black community. I mean, it's very telling with the Black community because one of the things that they make sure of is there's always Planned Parenthood offices. There's always areas that they don't fix. So there's all kinds of blight and everything on the buildings. But one things that you don't see are, entrepreneurship centers, places to get a secondary education, a trade school. You don't see these things placed in areas that most definitely could benefit from them. And that's purposeful. Purposeful.
It's all by design, and if you try to call out the design, you're called a racist.
I mean, more than half the people on this panel can't say anything.
But there's also a target.
According to who? According to
well-meaning white liberals who are
it's usually white leftists.
White leftists who would look down upon people of other skin colors with the soft bigotry of low expectations. They don't think that a Black person is smart enough to know how to go to the DMV and get a driver's license so they can vote, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. They think that Black people don't know how to get cell phones. I mean, I grew up in a Black neighborhood, and I can tell you it's just like a white neighborhood, but they dance better.
Mm.
but you know, but the thing is though, like
It's true.
in the Asian
I was
in
just
the
about to say
Asian
that.
in the Asian community, they've sat there and tried to make us to where they try to play that same bullshit on us and say, oh well Asians are getting hurt because of white supremacy. It's like, no, we're not. We're not.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's largely just inner city crime happens, and a lot of the desperation is out there. um it's happening. All the clips that I've seen of Asian people getting assaulted is just, it's usually the perpetrator happens to be black, and it's not by any other reason other than to say, these are the type of folks that right now are running around doing a lot of the crime.
Yeah, it's a
The
weird
numbers
thing.
the numbers bear that out.
Hmm.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
there's
'cause-
there's traditionally been friction between the Black and Asian communities because
yeah,
the
no, but
Asian the,
not on a
not at
centralized
this
scale.
not at this scale, but I mean that goes back to the 80s.
Right,
Or
right.
can we talk about social engineering? Because
Oh well, yeah.
people want to act like the 60s never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and then worse than that, in the 70s, you had targeted welfare systems going into the black community so that
Yep.
liberals
God,
could
yeah.
intentionally buy
Yep.
votes from minorities. They set up
Mhm.
the welfare system to use the government to replace the father in the household. And then, that way they can pay people off for their votes for a long period of time. And it's completely destroyed
Well, you can
the black
also,
culture
well,
in
you can
inner cities
also,
in this country.
Stephen, you can also add to that and I firmly believe that was the beginning of the assault on the nuclear family.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
it was
not
intentional. The
that.
government wanted to remove the father, put themselves in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they take the children from their own town and bus them to another town, white, Hispanic, Asian, and black, to
Yeah.
other school, instead of saying, let's spend the money in your town and build a nice school. I mean,
They already
geez.
spend the money.
I mean,
That's
it's
the
like none
problem.
of
The
them
money
have
gets spent. It's not well used.
It's done
help the
going.
town.
It's misappropriation, exactly, Stephen. Exactly.
Them,
Yeah, Janet,
not
I've
us.
been thrown out of many family gatherings saying what you just said. I've always believed that
me
forced
too.
integration
So
was a bad thing. It was. Say that again, please.
I live South, and I've been thrown out of many family gatherings, and I've told Drew about many problems I've had because I'm very verbal about this, because somebody has to help the kids. Doesn't matter where the kids
Right.
come from, but kids can't get help by themselves because they're freaking kids. People,
Mm-hmm.
help the kids
Yeah.
help themselves by giving them what everyone should get, an education to be able to make their own choices when they're old enough to do it.
That's funny.
Then
We
it's
tell them
on
they can get
them. It's not us
we-
anymore once they're an adult. That's all I ask.
think-
So people sit down and have some common sense.
we tell
I
them they
think
can be
every
anything we
parent's-
want, and then we give them no help.
Exactly. Every
Yep.
parent's primary job is to set their children up to walk on their own. It would be a piss poor parent that just wants to keep them dependent on them
Yes.
forever.
Yep.
Yes.
So that should tell people something right there. It's like when you see that you have a government or a governing agency that just wants to keep you coming back and not empower you or instruct you or show you how to build up your own and build your own community and stuff, then you're dealing with something that's not good for you, or you should know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and my God, it's a fascinating rabbit hole. But speaking on the getting back to the general like gun control issue though, like it's funny because with these last couple of shooters, it's also come out that like with the Buffalo shooter, the retired FBI agent involved. Why is the FBI involved with these people? I have questions about that because it's funny. They talk about how young kids that are somewhat disturbed, that are loners. They're the type that are targeted and radicalized by ISIS. They used to always use that and say, oh, these are the types of kids that are radicalized online by ISIS. Now,
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that these kids are being targeted and possibly radicalized by the FBI.
What do you think, Drew?
Am I wrong?
No, I don't
Wow.
think so.
No.
It's quite an observation there, my man. I never thought of it like that.
You know,
Yeah.
because guess the easiest way to further a narrative, if you want to say, well, that's a domestic terrorist, well, you create one. You know, they've been doing this for years. You could argue going back to the days, and I know, Mark, you probably like to get into the subject of, you know, we revisited JFK. They did that
Yeah.
with Oswald, created that,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's not implausible because these government agencies approved that left, right, and center. Man, they've had clandestine operations on the American people for decades. You know, so don't just take this as I'm going on a wild tangent here, folks. Okay, because it's proven that the three-letter agencies are not your friends. They are no friend to the citizen.
Yeah.
And the Sentinel puts it perfectly right here. The FBI and the CIA have all the resources at their expense to both investigate and create, quote, domestic terrorists.
We know the cure. We made the disease.
Thank you.
And it's only a matter of time before they start considering domestic terrorists to not be able to have their inalienable, self-evident rights, and they start putting them through the FISA courts. I mean, they already did it to a general in the army.
Yes, they did.
Why? Yeah, why wouldn't they do that to normal American citizens then?
Alt-right drunk 3PO is spot on as well. The government is
Great
waging
name.
war against us. Yes.
Well, the thing is, every time they investigate all these shooters, they always say, "Oh yeah, they were watching him, or we were watching them, or we were investigating them."
But
so,
you didn't do nothing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's always hindsight's 2020. But I mean, how many more times do we got to figure this out before we start saying, "Hey, something's got to be done"? As soon as we find out this person's doing this, put them in some type of special course or whatever to deprogram them or something, but not have the same people that are supposedly watching them.
Well, it's the exact opposite, Janet. They're putting them in a special course to program them.
I know. So what do we do about it? How do we?
Yeah, it's
how
'cause-
do we stop this stuff? I mean, what? I mean,
Well-
that's the problem. Figure out ways to stop.
Well, a lot of the issues, and I'll take this to another level. You know, you pay attention to the left right now, where you've got people actually like celebrating mental illness, saying that's a part of who I am. It's part of my identity. It's like, no, you have an issue. You should be seeing a professional for that. You should be in a mental facility for that.
Yeah.
But
is
they
that the
closed.
left, or is that the
They closed the
Program.
majority of mental facilities, Coyle, and you know this.
yeah.
I remember. I was in. This is going back a ways, but I was in 11th grade senior year, and I was trying to satisfy my foreign language credit, and I took American Sign Language, and the whole time, and this includes the teacher who wasn't deaf, pounding into me that it's not a disability. There is a deaf community. They're proud of it. They wouldn't want to be anything else.
All right. I love this line, by the way. Stallone from Cobra. You're diseased and I'm a cure. He could have been speaking to a politician. Yes. Amen to that.
Oh, if only he really was.
Oh,
But,
man.
You know, I just wanted to bring up sort of, you know, the idea of preemptively trying to target people who are potential, you know, mass shooters or what have you. It's kind of a difficult balancing act to try and maintain people's rights without, you know, infringing on them and being able to keep on top of these things. But at the same time, what our government winds up doing the vast majority of the time is they will intentionally try to radicalize people so that they can justify going after them, or they'll intentionally radicalize them. They'll have people coming from the FBI, the CIA, talking to them online under some sort of anonymity, and they'll try and groom these people into doing horrible acts in an attempt to weed them out, but they never actually catch them beforehand.
Well,
if you're
incorrect,
watching,
but
people find out that they're applying to buy a whole bunch of handguns and 30,000 rounds of ammo. I mean, you think that somebody would step in and say, "Hell no, you ain't gotten that stuff."
Why
I
not?
mean,
It's your
something.
inalienable right to be able to do so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I want to be
but
able to do that.
Not
I bought
Didn't-
1,000
Didn't
rounds
we
for
already
my
say that the
7.62.
First Amendment and the Second Amendment are practically synonymous with each other anyway? At least they should
I
be.
know, but
Yep.
if you prove they have some type of mental disorder, why can't somebody step in, their doctor, their loved ones, or someone get contacted
Because it
and
creates a
help them put
precedent.
a program?
yeah,
It
does
creates a
create
precedent that can easily that people could use that as in retribution to be able to strip other people's arms away. That's red flag laws. That's what they've been trying to do in Texas, is
Well,
create
this
a red flag system.
do.
The problem
Gotta
is
be-
that people could just make false claims and be able to strip other people of their ability to defend themselves. And the way that they're trying to set the system up is that they take your guns and then you have to prove your innocence in court. The problem is you have to assume guilt in order to do these things, and it's just an unfortunate truth of dealing with a nation that has the right to defend themselves. But when we really look at the stats, if we compare other forms of mass violence versus forms of mass shootings, other forms of mass violence, like people driving trucks into crowds, people using like what Timothy McVeigh did. I mean, he had some fertilizer and some know-how, and he'd killed more people than in any other mass violent attack in America, more than any mass shooting. So if you actually look at the statistics, people driving trucks into parades and all sorts of stuff like that, it actually causes more damage than the targeted shootings.
Low tech shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a dangerous way to think, to think that you
Yes.
can
Right.
evaluate somebody and decide whether or not, like their fitness, whether they can be allowed to have a legal firearm. They used to do something
true.
like that for women, forced sterilization. They used to evaluate the woman, and they used to be able to try to say that, oh, well, you're simple, you're
Yeah.
dumb or something. You're going to produce dumb children or whatever. And they could actually get away with forced sterilization.
And who's the
And,
fucking board that approves of that shit? Who gets
Mm.
to sit on
Yeah.
the fucking
Right.
council?
It's funny though. It's really funny though, because I will sit here and tell you right now, with maybe a little shame, that I probably could not pass the United States citizenship test. I may or may not be able to obtain a fishing license. But I mean, like, obviously, if certain people we've seen in the past can pass background checks, even I could do it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. But it is dangerous, once you give people that ability to be able to have that control. It was like what is it, a Minority Report, the movie where they could tell in advance whether you
Oh,
could
God,
commit a crime.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crime.
And
people.
it's the
Free
same
crime.
thing. Like, can you honestly elect a board of council to oversee that thing? I don't think you can. Not in our society now. No.
Yeah.
And we already have a system in place that if somebody is considered to be mentally deficient by a court, that they won't pass the background check. They won't be able to purchase firearms, at least legally. There's not much you can do about illegal gun sales. They're not following the law. But we do actually have systems in place that if you are determined through the court to be mentally deficient or mentally unstable, that'll happen. But we can't preemptively do these things, and it's just how our legal system is at least supposed to be set up, that we would rather 10 guilty men walk free than one innocent man suffer.
When you
All
go
right.
to the doctor, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when you go to the doctor, now they ask you a bunch of personal questions. You could go in there because you stubbed your toe, and they'll still stand there and say to you, have you ever thought about harming yourself? Have you ever thought about harming somebody else? Are you depressed? Like, they run down the list of all of these things, and they're checking these boxes. Why? Like, what is that? It's like, I'm very uncomfortable with that when you're talking
Where
about
they were reporting
this.
to. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
they're in bed with the pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. So whatever you say, we got a drug for you. We got a drug for you, and you don't know the side effects to these drugs. Nobody ever stopped to look at what the instance is of people who do these shootings with the drugs they might have been on at the time, and for how long
Combination
they
of
were.
drugs, yeah.
Yeah. So these are the days that we're living in. And, like I said, people need to start asking questions about this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Meanwhile, you have like people like all our grandparents who were so beholden to their primary care physicians that they would have them over for Thanksgiving dinner, or at least offer to.
Man,
You know, those days are long gone. And you know, unfortunately, maybe it's a good thing.
Look at
the way things have happened.
Look at our dude Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective coming in with the base take. It's all a stage show to see how much the populace will allow them to get away with.
Yep.
Then they will really start doing the evil shit. Yep. That's
Fuck
exactly
yeah, love that guy.
If that's what they were doing, they got a definitive answer, because
if they were in a casino and they kept doubling down, they'd be trillionaires by now.
Yep.
The way action has been taken on the other side.
Just another red shirt, and hail to just another red shirt. What's up, brother? The Soviets used to declare dissidents to be mentally disturbed and institutionalize them. The government would abuse control of the mental health system here in the New York Minute. Yes, they would. Absolutely. You cannot trust them with that. Now, I do want to roll into a topic shift because I know we wanted to get to the stuff about 2000 Mules. And as I said, Will and I went to see the movie together. I don't know how many of you on the panel have actually seen the movie proper, but even if you've seen the trailer, you can understand that the movie itself, the evidence presented, it was very compelling. And, you know, we already had our suspicions because that night, as so many of us saw, you know, just the lead in the beginning that President Trump had, it you know, when it was moving along naturally, it seemed like it was just going to be, you know, in basketball, it would be one of those 140 to 110 blowouts, right? But you know,
at least the way basketball used to be played.
But
yeah,
neither here nor there.
But if you look at it, okay, when the boat started to shift, and it was ironically in these late night periods, and then everybody woke up the next morning, and you know the numbers were all askew. Biden had gained ridiculous amounts of ground in numbers that really should have never happened because they don't correlate, you know, with the amount of turnout for a lot of these places. So we already had our suspicions, but when this came out with the geo-tracking data from the cell phone that shows exactly how, you know, if they wanted to manipulate the mail-in voting system, it's so easy. You have these people picking up tons and tons of ballots from these different offices, whether they be offices run by Democratic PACs or Democrat individuals, whichever. These people would pick up a stack of ballots and go on this pre-planned route, almost like they were dropping, you know, something off, like a FedEx driver, and they go to each of these drop boxes and drop anywhere from 3 ballots to 10 ballots in, depending on what looked right, what was quote needed. It was crazy the amount of depth that this movie went into, but it basically catches these people red-handed because not only do you see the camera evidence, you see the literal evidence from the geo-tracking on the cell phones, and we know that geo-tracking now, my God, you could get within like a foot of somebody. It's that accurate. So, you know, I don't know. That data to me, you know, and the evidence presented in 2000 Mules was very compelling. And I can just say on a personal basis, it makes me really wonder how protected our election process is in this country.
If you know what, all right. So, Drew, you asked me to go see this movie with you, and I never for 1 second said to myself I shouldn't see this. Here's the thing with me, and all of you probably don't realize that it was two sides of the same spectrum with me, where I was on I'm trying to, how do I word this? Okay, so I wasn't 100% sure about what happened, and there was a truth that I wanted to believe that one side of it was true. I went in with an open mind, and what I ended up seeing was like you said, that a lot of this data was so intricate and specific. And an organization like True the Vote, which I didn't really know about until I saw this movie, I did a little research on them afterwards. They're a grassroots organization. They don't kick up any of the money they have to any of the, I call them warlords, just for shits and giggles. But the fact is, they spent copious amounts of their own funding to purchase this data to be able to
collate this data.
Thank you. To collate this data, to do their geo-tracking. On top of that, let's be honest. Who on the other side of this argument is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, who on the other side of this argument has produced anything that to release to the public that has even reached as high of a scale as a YouTube video? It's as more than a glorified YouTube video. I mean, it's almost like, for instance, I have family members. I saw this movie. They had their own opinions, and they're like, well, at some point somebody will release it. I'm like, listen, Michael Moore's not coming to your rescue this time. It's not happening.
Isn't that funny how they wait to see if CNN's going to pick it up?
Exactly.
How come Anderson Cooper's not talking about it? Come on.
Yeah.
CNN is basically playing the game that I used to accuse Fox News of, whereas they're just cycling. They're just putting the footage of the response to the Texas school shooting on a cycle and trashing Greg Abbott and trashing Ted Cruz. Although, let's be honest, there should be less doors. I mean, but that's really all that's really all they have now. I don't know what MSNBC is doing. I'd have to ask my grandfather.
I wanted.
Sorry if that was long-winded.
It was, but that's all right. I wanted to get Mark's take. Mark,
I want to see. Go on.
Yeah. I was just going to say, based on the fact that this movie exists, the impact that it's seeming to have, even with just like Twitter going crazy over it, and there were so many people trying to attack the organization that Will mentioned, that True the Vote. They were trying to attack the guy that made the movie, Dinesh D'Souza. They were coming out with a lot of flimsy logic trying to attack that. I don't really think when you have evidence that compelling that you really have a leg to stand on, because correct me if I'm wrong, but man, even the footage that came out initially of ballots coming in the night to the different polling places and everything under the cover of night, man, it was shady as all get out. And my question to you is, can we ever go back to trusting our election process? Because I don't know about you, but for me, that's one of the most sacred, I guess, standards we have in this country.
I like to think that. I mean, and I think it always will be.
Well, I was addressing Mark with that question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mark, please.
Yeah, no, it's hot, man, and you guys saw the movie and everything, but I just want to see the movie. I know just watching the trailer was very compelling, but I can tell you that I lost faith in that a long time ago, and I'm sorry to say that, because I know how much it meant to my grandfather, and people who fought for this. He was a
right.
World War II vet and everything, You know, it's very sad. You know, hearing we just came off of Memorial Day and we're just giving it all away. You know, but they're getting away with it because we're a society of distraction. You know, so as long as people can, you know, keep talking about, you know, getting the shot and, you know, the Johnny Depp trial, or I mean, whatever. I mean, okay, you can look at that stuff, but you know, how is it that something that is so important can fly underneath the radar? And you guys know the evil always is hidden in plain sight. So it's there. It's there. The truth is there for people to see.
Yes,
but we'd rather be looking at other things, and we rather attack people who are in the know. Like right now, you guys are those guys at the party. You're the guys at Thanksgiving who would bring these things up and people would be uncomfortable with it. But how are you not seeing this? You know what I mean? But that's where we are now. People, they don't want to see it. And so ultimately, we all pay the price for that. We pay the price for it because we're all being exploited, you know, this way, and they're taking advantage of us, and they're just doing what they want to do. Like, I didn't even know all of this stuff, but one thing I do know is that Biden he's an idiot. There's no way that you can pay me any amount of money to believe that the results are what they said they were. You know what I mean?
Oh, look at Chase Geyser coming in with a super chat. $20 super chat from my boy Chase Geyser, from host of the One American Podcast. By the way, if you're not following Chase Geyser and supporting the One American Podcast, Chase is awesome. I've had him on this program multiple times. He's a personal friend of mine, good dude, and he's right. Everyone knows Biden's T is 9mm.
We know Drew's packing a 50 cal.
Oh man, you know,
beware the Drew.
nice piece.
It's nice to see Biden finally moved on from that 6-shooter.
But the thing is, you know, and Mark, see, this is why I love having Mark on, because he just puts it so succinct and eloquent, you know, in his response. But I mean, he's spot on. You know, it's everything is just out there. They put it in plain sight, but they run that distraction game on you to try to fool your eyes. And you know, that I think is the worst offense. You know, and then you've got because the easiest way to explain it to people when it comes to stuff like this is just that period of time. And Mark, you remember this, when the Clintons and the Bushes were just sitting there throwing the ball of power to each other back and forth. And it was all a big smoke screen, like, oh, we don't like that other family. Get out of here. They were sticking Steve's behind the scenes. You guys know this. You guys can see it now. Look, if you pay attention to McCain's funeral, or even the George Floyd funeral, and you see, you know, Bush sitting with Obama and Clinton and all, man, it's clear as day.
Bush is a piece of shit.
They are in the.
They all are.
They are in the same.
Trash.
They are in the same world government globalist club.
I don't know which one you're talking about. I'll just assume you mean all of them.
And well, these people feel like they bought their ticket because they got all that wealth, and they feel like, oh, we're up here, we're good, so we're just gonna play our parts and make this happen. Well, you know, it's gonna come home to roost, because eventually, you know, somebody somewhere is going to stand up to these people. There's plenty of people doing it in the information world, you know, because like I said, my boy Chase Geyser, I'm doing it. Wes Moody's doing it. There's a lot of people, even in the YouTube community, that are finally hanging them over the fence and saying, you know what, I'm going to take my channel in this direction and I'm going to put it right out there. You know, that's what I did with my channel, and I ain't afraid. If they're going to come after me, if they're going to throw me in the gulag, so be it. But I'm going to shout it to the heavens. I'm going to say the truth, because I'm not afraid.
Yeah. I've always considered my videos to be, and I've said it millions of times, message in a bottle videos. Like, you put them out there and you float that message out there. You don't know who's going to pick it up. I think too many people are way too preoccupied with like getting subs, you know, how big their channel can get. Sometimes you just need to reach one person. You need to plant one seed. Someone
Correct.
tells it to their child or whatever. That is, if that's what you want to do. If you're really about, like a message and everything, okay, it's cool to get subs. If you can make a living off this, great. But also that message that you have, because everything that comes out of your mouth should be something, substantial.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
making jokes. I mean, you see me on my videos clowning and singing badly and everything like that, because I try to entertain myself as well. But, there's always underneath the message, always, and
That's right.
because let's face it, one day all of us are not going to be here, and this will be part of our legacy. So so it's probably a good idea to say something that might be of use to somebody else.
Well, again, we could talk about the misdirection game. Look, and you, Mark, again, you hit on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was what, last week? And what else was going on? Oh, the big the globalist conference. The entirety, mainly of the whole globalist component, was in Davos, Switzerland. And what were they talking about? Oh, everything from population control to how can we, you had Pfizer execs there, you had people from big tech there talking about how can we exert more control, how can we make more profits off the backs of people. That's exactly what they were doing. And oh, by the way, repeating as recent as last week, yeah, let's get that population number down.
And not only is it how much profit can they make, it's how can they take public money from taxpayers and put it into the hands of private corporations that they own the stock in. I was watching a Russell Brand video earlier today, and that's one of the things he was talking about was the gun lobbies in America. And he actually gave a pretty well-balanced argument for someone who's definitely more on the left. But he was saying, one of the issues with Biden coming out and, trying to, make all of these big declarations that we have to battle gun violence is that the government just paid a huge they just did a huge contract with the company based out of Georgia. I can't remember what they're called, Daniela or something, that made the guns that the Texas shooter used. So all of these and on top of that, out of all of the politicians, there's $5.8 million worth of stocks that are owned in the gun lobby companies.
Yeah, it's basically a big lobbyist machine. That's
Yes.
all.
Yes.
Worldwide.
Toxic masculinity is over the target here. Step 1, disarm the people. Step 2, initiate food shortage. Step 3, release more viruses. And he may not be wrong about that because again, they're obsessed with what decreasing the population number. I know ETEP has to jet, so I'm gonna let him do a quick outro. And thank you for being on, Pete, as always, because dude, you bring it strong every week.
Thank you, man.
Good meeting you, man.
Thank you. Hey, nice meeting you, Will, and nice stream with you again, Mark. Always a pleasure. Steven, Janet, Immortal, fun as always. Drew, love you, brother.
When you get up this way, man, me, you, and Will go out.
Like I said, I'm gonna be moved. So like I'm moving. I'm building a dedicated studio in my house. I'm not gonna have to move my equipment around anymore. There's not gonna be none of that. I'm gonna have my own dedicated studio and weight room in the basement. So not only will I be getting more work done, I'm not gonna be a fat shit anymore either. I'm gonna get back in fighting shape because when I come down to Ohio to see Drew, I'm gonna take him and he's gonna watch my old ass get into the ring one more time. So
I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna let that slide. By the way,
trust me, dog. I'm out of fighting shape, man. It's not even funny.
Yeah, well,
no.
Okay.
You can find me at my channel, Etepo Queen's a place to be reviews. We're live every Monday night, 8:35 Eastern for Going In Raw, no protection required. And also Wednesday night, 9:05 Eastern, not on Superstation TBS, over on my channel for Going Rogue. Myself and my co-host Tony Tone Deaf. Monday night we got the Horsemen, me, Tony, Vinny, Red, and Chris Fisk. I'm reviewing the WCW every episode of Nitro right now. I just released episode 8. Next week will be Halloween Havoc 95. That'll be probably about an hour-long video. The one today was about 20 minutes I clocked her in at. But yeah, and this are only the 1 hour Nitros and like I said, 2 hour and 45 minute pay-per-views. So I'm reviewing all those. Yeah. I got about 2 videos scheduled to drop tomorrow throughout the day. And
Medi loves you, bro, by the way.
Dude, Medi, did you email me at theplacetobereviews@mail.com, the world's best mail, and I will get your Kazooian, which my channel members are Kazooians. If you join the channel, $2.99 a month. If a Jew could shill for a minute, I'm just gonna shill for myself for a minute here.
See, he did it super chat style. He said, "Where's my Kazoo?"
Wow, Drew, I thought yours was good.
this guy, Medi's been busting my balls. I'm like, hey, send me your shipping info and I will get that shit out to you. I got about half a dozen packages to send out to channel members. We're up to 23 channel members now, so thank you to all my Kazooians. And yeah, like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's blue, but yeah, you get your Kazoo with the Place to Be Reviews logo on it. Plus, let me see, where's the bag? Yeah, you get one of the old school Pete Daddy Dollar. Back from when I was in the ring, the trading cards autographed.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when I was PD2 belts right there. Remember the 1%? Yeah. Anyway, thank you all. My outro is almost as long as Culture Casinos, but my beard is nowhere near as glorious as his, although I am way prettier even with this lovely cue ball cut I've been rocking for 20 years. Thank you all. I will catch you guys next week.
Nice,
I'm out
bro.
like feelers and high top fades.
Oh,
well, as far as domes go, I'm not taking my hat off.
Yeah, that's my dude right there, man. I love rocking with UTEP every week because I mean he's great on this panel as are all of you, man. And like I said, we I think we had a great a really I guess illuminating discussion, and and I really like the way that everybody approached it.
Yeah, everything gets deep. That's why I love you, man.
And it's important because again, there's so much more to this than the average thing that you'll see on YouTube, especially, for you folks that watch this particular area of YouTube and you liked the shows that talk about our cultural icons or talk about history or talk about things of that nature. Well, there's so many videos and so many channels that you can watch that'll talk about, oh, well, it's Disney this or Disney that, or they'll talk about, there's too much woke this or too much woke that. Well, yeah, there is. But you got to understand how that all works. And if we don't have the conversation of where it really originates from, then we're really not doing the right service here. Because that's only one component of it. And that's why it's so important when you have the opportunity to have the discussion, instead of talking about the ripples in the pond, you talk about the whole pond. And that's why I'm so glad I get the opportunity to do what I do with my channel. That's why I'm so happy that people like Chase Geyser are doing what they do with their podcast, what Immortal Coil does with his channel, what Wes does with his channel, because it is so paramount right now that we understand what is happening in the world. And again, it's a testament to Mark, just the way that he looks at things, his responses, his videos. I mean, are fire, folks. So if you haven't watched this man's content, you need to watch The Gospel According to Mark with a C, because he is unparalleled.
Fuck yourself. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that, man. Very, very kind of you. We're all just trying to do the best that we can here. All of us are soulful, thoughtful people, and we're forced to have to find ways to express ourselves. Because there's some things you just can't sit by and not have thoughts about it and not have a way to express those thoughts. Mm-hmm. So I salute all of you. I salute everybody out here who's on this platform, just trying somehow to break through and leave an imprint and make some type of difference. You know, it's a righteous thing, man.
Oh, absolutely. And it started off with a lot of us getting involved in the culture war, but to a large degree, there's been a number of us that have just evolved and gotten to the real war, and I'm happy to see that that's happened because again, right now it's so important with the information war that we're having to have truth on your side. And that's really, I think, at the end of the day, what you, the viewer, wants. You want just good information, and we're going to give that to you. So, with that being said, I'm going to go around the panel and let everybody talk about what they got going on. And I will start with the man of the hour, the gospel according to Mark with a C.
Thank you. Quite simply, Mark with a C is the channel. Come on by. It's just a lot of real talk, whether it is pop culture, whether it's something a little bit deeper, social. I do just want to make connections, whether it's emotional connections, intellectual connections, if you want to put it that way. Just to think together and to communicate together is very, very important to me. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate anyone who comes by, everyone in the comment section. I also do a stream with the Dark Council every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, where we just cut up, and because also having fun is important too, to be able to laugh and to remind people that you're not alone. Sometimes, when we have these observations that we have about the world and we're seeing all this craziness, sometimes you do feel isolated, especially over the last 2.5 years. I think it's been designed that way. Social distancing is just that. We've never been more distant socially in this society. So it's good to come together and know that you're not alone. We recently did a meetup, with the Dark Council. I think it was like last summer or at the end of last year. And we actually met people. We met, each other. And what I heard more than anything was, thank you to, all of us here. Thank you for just letting me know that I'm not alone in the thoughts that I have, in enabling me to be more confident with my thoughts and everything. So, like I said, man, just come by the channel and I'll love to see you, and anything you can contribute to the conversation is greatly appreciated. And thank you guys for having me on. I had a great time.
Yeah, Mark, man, you were as awesome as I thought you would be.
Fucking A.
So that said, Mr. Fucking A, we'll go over to Immortal Coil.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you don't have to do that. My name is Immortal Coil. Like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy and proud for every one of you. I don't have much to say except for
you're a
my
savage.
product. Yeah, I'm a savage. I'm a I'm a piece of shit. I'm a
Stop it. I love this man.
So just come check out my channel. I got like a lot of big, cool, stupid stuff and
savage perspective.
Yeah, the savage perspective. So come and check me out. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.
Absolutely, Immortal, man. And as we were talking on the phone, we need to do something along the lines of
we will collaborate.
Of the
you
unexplained.
And I have a fucking collective vision. So
yeah,
let's do something.
We need to bring back some stuff about the unexplained, though, the UFOs.
Yeah,
and
let's
stuff like that. Yeah,
let's bring that forward.
Because we gotta fill the void from our.
Sounds like I gotta bone up.
We gotta fill the void from our boy Final Death Star for a while. So.
Everybody has to.
That's right. So we'll go over to the lady of the hour, and that is Janet from Another Planet.
Yes, ma'am.
Very much for having me. I love talking about these issues because I'm very passionate about it. I'm not always the smartest person in the room, but I definitely will share my opinion, whether you want to hear it or not. And I'm going to sub everybody that I haven't already subbed that were on the panel tonight, because I think everybody's point of view is important. And I think if we all work together, we can find the answers. And please join me next Monday night. I'll be on Bruce Lombardi, Dick's Division's channel, doing our Monday night movie review. And then you hopefully see me next week here, right here on Drew's channel, and doing the same thing I love. Thank you very much. And you can check me out on my channel because all I do is little shorts, 30 seconds or whatever. So I don't plan on doing any live streams on my own channel or anything like that, but because I enjoy what I do and I just want to make people smile, laugh, have a few giggles, and make you feel better for just a few minutes a day. But thank you, and I hope to see you guys next week.
You are a smile spreader. That's awesome.
Thank you,
For
Drew.
real.
You're the super spreader of smiles, Janet. And we'll go over to
Janet.
Steven, Mr. Freeze Peach Gaming.
Hey, everybody. This was another awesome Tuesday here at United Resistance. This was a great chat. You always know it's good when Drew is having to try and steer us back to the conversation because we're going down a rabbit hole and we just go down a different rabbit hole that's like half on topic. That's how we're always having a good time. Chat, you guys were on fire today. This is, seriously, the best chat that I see out there is the this whole United Resistance thing, the whole United Underground thing. You guys are awesome, and we have some really strong followers that are coming into every chat. I'm constantly seeing Rapid Slug, I'm seeing Keely Chow,
Stargate.
Rita, Gap Stargate's everywhere, Godzillionaire, Tina Bojan. You guys are everywhere. Blue Eyed Roof Korean, and I saw you guys occasionally when I was first watching like Friday Night Tights, and now I'm getting to actually like talk to you guys in chats and everything, and it's awesome. It was great having Mark on today. I was not expecting that because I'm really bad at checking Twitter. So like literally 10 minutes before the show, it's like, oh shit, Mark with the C is on. Awesome. He's got a great channel. So definitely go and check him out. I threw his link up in the chat. Definitely go and check that out. You can find me here on YouTube. I'll be streaming. I haven't nailed down the time period yet, but my gaming stream is probably going to be moving to Thursdays after my other video drops on my second channel, Lord of the Rings Step by Step, where I am doing a scene-by-scene review of the extended edition for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So please go and check that out. I'll be throwing the link up once I'm done rapping here.
Did you almost just make a Freudian slip? I thought, I swear to God, I thought you were going to say the horror of the rings, and I'm like, what?
I mean, I'll take one of those too.
I'm like, wait, they didn't make a movie like that.
You want to bet?
Are
I
you
bet
sure?
I will put money down that there is a porn parody called The Horror of the Rings. Or at least
Call me immature and maybe a little bit of a pervert, but I might see that.
Right? Right? It's kind of like the Pirates movie they did. The
Dude, I'm
not going there. I'm not going there.
I did see the Pirates movie.
It's so bad, but you gotta watch it.
I can't do that. I can't do it. I'm on Team Amber. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like having your finger chopped off and shit in bed?
Yeah, he likes women.
Who
that
doesn't?
sit in his bed?
You like them crazy.
Yeah.
Mom always said, don't dip your dick in crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man.
Actually, my grandmother used to say that, but yeah, whatever.
Rabbit Slug out. She says, "I'm too cheap for a whore."
My kind of
Go to
girl.
a bar. It's a couple of drinks. You can
That's
find yourself
right. That's
a
right.
bar bitch.
All right.
Yes, everybody have a great one.
I would I would let Will do an outro, but he doesn't even have a YouTube channel, and he's not worth it. So
It's funny. I was going to do nothing but praise you, but I guess since you're not giving me the forum, what can I do about it?
Whoop, you blew it.
Oh man. All right. But yeah, thank you so much, folks. You guys are indeed the best chat on YouTube. The biggest thing that I love is the conversation, because every single week it is a good conversation. And a Toxic, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I think that might be a good thing to discuss next week is, the case in Uvalde from the law enforcement standpoint and where they may have dropped the ball. That might be a good conversation for next week. So thank you for actually making that awesome comment. And this is an example of why you guys are the best chat on YouTube. You bring great stuff to the table, just as the folks that I'm lucky enough to have on my panel every week bring great stuff to the table. So, that's why you're all near and dear to my heart. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are the reason I do this. So thank you so much. And until next time, make sure that you take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Don't do too much cocaine, because
spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
Yep. See. But besides that, take care. Like I said, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We will see you next Tuesday for another episode of United Resistance. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, True Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like that?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone, Death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Mike